Hi, this is Scott, Product Manager for ArborPro. Today we're going to take a look at color coding trees in the new ArborPro Enterprise 2.0. So on the left side here we have something that looks like a paint palette, and that is the color coder. So by default here we have trees color coded by whether they are a tree, stump, or vacant site. So it doesn't tell us a whole lot. If we wanted to color code by species, we could click here and go to species. So ArborPro comes up with a random sort of color palette on the fly and shows where all the different types of trees are. So it also provides this legend that is sorted by number. So our predominant species on campus at the University of Tulsa is high beam overcup oak, and so we see quite a few of those around here. And then we have Princeton American elm, Octory glory maple. So a really good sort of heterogeneous mixture of species. We can also color code by other things such as DBH range, so we can see where some of the more mature trees are, height range, so we can see where we might need a bucket truck to get to some of these trees, recommended maintenance, and tree condition, so very important. In this case, there are a number of other conditions besides just good, fair, poor. So there are some where the client has gone in and added some additional things, so pH issues, mistletoe, things like that. And the way these came to be is there was, once the data entry was done by the client, they actually chose to do a condition that was something else other than our standard conditions, which is perfectly fine. And they just did that by going in and saying add new, and then they typed in some new value. So we'll go ahead and quit out of that. And all those values, those custom values that were entered, are immediately available for color coding. So this provides a really powerful tool for visualizing what's going on in the tree inventory. Also, some of these property characteristics, so location. So this really helps if folks are out in the field and they're inventorying trees and they're specifying location, and we can see that the data looks really solid because we've got all these different color-coded locations, and they all seem to line up with and align with what the different locations are. So if we had, let's say, for example, something had a different color that was kind of in the middle of a bunch of one color, then we would know, okay, we need to QC this data. So it's a great QC tool. It's a great way to visualize where our building trees versus street trees, common areas, and that sort of thing. And again, we can kind of QC that data based on whether one person might call this an athletic field tree and another might call it a building tree or whatever. So also property, so we can color code on property. We see gill crease 252 here, and that's purple. We don't see any purple trees out here, so we're not really sure where that is. If we're not familiar with campus, there is actually an area northwest of the city of Tulsa that is the gill crease area. And so in order to find that, what we can go and do is go into properties and then click on gill crease, and then it's going to zoom to that area, as I mentioned, that's kind of northwest of town there. So this is how we do color coding and the value of color coding in ArborPro Enterprise 2.0. The other thing that we can do here is color code on has photo. And in this case, we can see all the different trees that have a photo attached. So if we were going out there and inventorying trees and taking pictures of each one, we would know which ones we still have to take pictures of. So in this case, University of Tulsa has chosen to try to take pictures of every single tree, and we can see that there are quite a few that they've got. Has photo is yes. The no is where there is no tree, there is no photo associated with this tree. So what we can do is take a look at that. Let's click on a tree. And in this case, we see, oh, there's a photo. So this is what it's talking about. This is what it's referring to, is that a picture has been taken of this tree. So these others that are in blue do not happen to have a photo yet. So if we go out in the field with the iPad, we can go click on this, upload a photo, and take care of those remaining 414 or so. And then these numbers will be reflected as pictures are updated. So this is about all we have here in the color palette, the color coder for ArborPro Enterprise 2.0. Great way to visualize your tree inventory.